everyone, it's Kristen from Swagger Magazine, and today I am joined by the super funny, hilarious comedian, actor, social media superstar, Neema Naz. How's it going?
What's up? How's it going?
Good. Now, I wanted to talk to you about how you got started as a comedian, and I want to know about your journey using social media to really get your skits out into the universe.
I started about 7 years ago when I was actually studying in university, and then I realized that I wasn't really doing something that I really wanted to do in my life that I loved, and so I actually ended up dropping out and pursuing comedy and acting full time right away. I feel like I never really took risks for myself early in my life until that moment, and I was like, you know what, it's time for me to take this risk for once in my life, and that's how it happened, and now I'm here.
That's amazing, and you're killing it, by the way. You have a tour coming up, a comedy tour called the I'm Your Sugar Daddy Tour. I heard that you sold out all of your Toronto dates. That is absolutely incredible. Congratulations. Tell me about that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we've been building a lot of fan base and also value over the past few years of just posting a lot of content on social media, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube, just everywhere. I feel like because we couldn't really do many live shows in those couple of years because of the pandemic, when we finally announced these shows and the smaller shows that we've been doing as the practice for the tour, they've been selling out really quickly because I feel like I've built that rapport with the fans and the supporters over the years, and I feel like people are finally like, okay, now I need to see Neema live because he's, obviously we've seen his face on my phone for so much time. I'd like to see how it is in person. And so the feedback has been really great, and we've gotten a lot of people to come out and support live, thankfully, and I'm very grateful for that.
I get videos from my friends, sent your videos from my friends all the time. So you're being shared all over. Now you're going to be hosting a tailgate with Rivalry on September 11th. What can you tell me about that collaboration? What can fans expect from the tailgate?
I love the partnership that we have with Rivalry. They've been very supportive and open to any ideas that we've had from the beginning of the partnership till now. And I'm very grateful and lucky to be able to work with them on a higher level, especially now with the tailgate that they want to do. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's gonna be really fun and a very interactive day for other fans of mine to come and hang out with me and Rivalry and the team, and mingle and play some games and get to know me and me get to know them, take pictures, do all that stuff, do a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have a really, really big day for, as a collaboration with all of us. So I'm pretty excited for that.
That's fun. Is that taking place in Toronto?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Now I want to talk to you about one of your famous impressions, which is of Gary Vee. You recently opened his VCon conference. Tell me about that experience and how you felt when you were asked to participate.
That was definitely one of the most surreal moments of my life and career, for sure. It was a big milestone for me, just because me, my brother and I and our whole team, we really follow Gary Vee's, methods and advice that he always puts out in his content over the years. And I just kind of, from randomly impersonating him from the beginning because I liked him so much, it turned into something huge where I became one of the best Gary Vee impersonators out of nowhere online. It got to a point where it caught his attention. He started to like my videos, comment on my videos, and then he followed me, and then all of a sudden they reach out and I'm at VCon on stage with him in front of thousands of people impersonating him, and it was one of the coolest moments of my life.
That's amazing. I saw the clip of you, and that was so unexpected, and the crowd were really, really loving that. I thought that was genius that they got you to do that.
Yeah, no, it made me respect him and his team so much more because they didn't have to do that, but they know that they understand what's hot right now and, what's trending, and they always jump on that wagon, and it's smart, and, it helps them out, and it also helps the other person out. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
So, in terms of your other characters, I want to know, you play them so accurately and vividly. Where do you seek inspiration for your characters? Are your friends expressive? Do you kind of seek inspiration and observe other people? I'm kind of talking about like let's say your Bianca character, which is, by the way, one of my favorite characters, and your Letters to Santa skit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just, the characters I do just naturally come to me, to be honest. I never try to force any new characters unless, like, I feel like it's like a challenge and I can do it. But every character I have so far has just naturally come to me because it's just an extension of how I was raised, around the people that I was raised with. And I'm pretty much just mimicking that. Just my friends or my parents or, people I've met along the way, coworkers. It's all just a combination of of all those people into one. And it just turns out that these characters are popular now and they work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Bianca's wig.
Yeah, Bianca's, she's a legend. She's an icon.
She is a legend. And every time I see them, I'm like, one of my guy friends will send me like Bianca's horoscope videos and stuff like that. And he sends it to me because he's making fun of me too. Cause I'm like, oh, horoscope. So you're just so spot on with that.
Yeah,
which character of yours is your like most fun and favorite to perform?
That's such a tough question because I like them all equally, and it's weird because as a comedian you have like ups and downs with certain material and jokes. So that which means there are times where I'm in the mood for a certain character or a certain type of joke, and then I'll just do that a lot, and I really have fun with it. And then other times it's another thing. But in general, I think I always have fun doing my hockey character, Travis Carter. I call him Cartsy.
Also accurate.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, that one's definitely one of the most fun ones for me because I don't know, I just feel like it's the easiest for me to do, and I also grew up around a lot of hockey guys, so it's just funny to impersonate them a lot.
Yeah, no, I love it. Now, you're in an episode of The Boys, which is so awesome. I love that show. I wanted to know if you want to do more acting like that in the future. Is that something you also want to do on top of your comedy?
100%. Yeah, acting is a big passion of mine as well. I've always loved acting from when I was a kid, and I always envisioned myself being a movie star and playing big roles all the time. And I still actively am doing auditions for commercials, TV shows, movies, and eventually I want to get to a point where I can produce and act in my own movies as well. I want to create this big Adam Sandler type crew of all my friends that I already collab with in my content, and sort of create that big empire of acting as well.
Well, if you keep continuing doing what you're doing, I have no doubt that you will achieve that. So you're on your way, and I really mean that. Now, you opened for Russell Peters recently, which I saw on TikTok you said is an idol of yours. Tell me about that moment. Tell me about what that meant for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even put into words because obviously Russell Peters is definitely one of my idols in comedy, but just in general in my life, because when I was a kid, I would be watching TV with my dad, and Russell Peters was the first comedian I saw on TV, like doing stand-up comedy. And, he's up there telling jokes in front of a live audience about his own race and other people's races and other cultures and everything like that. And it was almost a shock to me in a good way. I was like, wow, this guy can just go up there and just talk about other people like that. And it was hilarious to me. It was exactly my sense of humor. I didn't even really register that until later in my life when he finally blew up even more and more. And me and all my friends and everyone who I grew up around, we also were raised on Russell Peters' comedy. And so that was our sense of humor for years, and we'd quote his lines all the time. And then when I started to do comedy, it was because of him. Well, definitely because of him and a couple other comedians that I really look up to. But the fact that I started, and then now I'm here 7 years later, and I got to open from 3 nights in a row, it all came full circle for me. And definitely was the proudest moment of my own life and my career, biggest milestone of my career, and I couldn't be happier to be able to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. He's an absolute legend, so that's incredible. Now, would you say he's your favorite comedian, or do you have another favorite comedian, past, present? What are you thinking?
He's definitely one of my favorites still, but I do have a couple other comedians I really love that are my favorites now. Even like Andrew Schultz is a big inspiration for me as well. He's more modern, he's newer. I think I definitely see a lot of myself in him as well on a smaller level. But yeah, like Andrew Schulz is definitely my favorite.
That's awesome. Now, what advice would you give to aspiring comedians or content creators and artists that want to get started in the industry?
Don't do it. Just don't do it. No, I'm half joking, because if you're going to do it, you better be 100% ready to be all in. Otherwise, you're screwed. Otherwise, you're not going to have fun with it. And that's a big takeaway for me, is you have to have fun while you're still doing this, even though it's really hard. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done, is pursue comedy, just because from all the downs, all the trenches I had to swim through just to, get stage time and get better material, make connections. It's a lot of politics in the comedy scene. And it just takes a lot of experience and repetition to finally get comfortable, find your voice, become an established comedian. It takes a long time. And if you're not having fun doing that, then there's no point.
Mm-hmm. So you would say, but like for, let's just say TikTok and Reels and stuff like that, do you think it's too late for people to get on? Not even necessarily with comedy, but let's just call it content creation. You think that there's still room for people?
Yeah, I guess more so I was just speaking on stand-up comedy more.
Comedy,
But in terms of content creation, no, like anybody can do that still to this day. You could talk about anything, and there will be a market for that. There will be an audience for that. And as long as you're posting consistently, and once again, having fun with it and enjoying the process, there's no doubt in my mind that you can build a fan base, a loyal fan base, and, create a career out of it. One of my good friends that I actually grew up with too, he, for example, like he's into sewing, and he started doing sewing content, and he blew up, and now he's over 100K on YouTube.
Wow.
Just from, like, it was within a couple of years. And so it's like, me personally, I don't care about sewing at all, but I respect the craft that he's doing, and there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who definitely love sewing. And so that's why he's building this fan base. And so that's just an example of what I mean. Like, you could talk about anything, and there's always going to be an audience for that. And I don't think it's ever too late. It's only getting bigger and better.
I agree. Did it take time for you to get used to like all the comments, and like, I mean, I feel like with the numbers you're getting, you're bound to get some, people in the comment section saying weird stuff and whatnot. How did you kind of like learn to ignore any negativity and only focus on the positive? Because I imagine with numbers like yours, it's just bound to happen, right?
Yeah, for sure. Luckily, I don't get that much hate compared to other people. But I mean, that's subjective. But I still definitely get flack and people pushing back on certain things I do, and hate every day, whether that's in my DMs and my comments on different platforms. The way I see it is actually, it's a takeaway from Gary Vee, actually, because he talks about how he gets so many positive comments, but also so many negative comments. And he actually can't focus on either, because if you focus on one, on the positive, for example, like you might get too inflated in your head, and you'll get this big ego trip, and now you're almost delusional, and you think you're some god and some king of the world, when really, there's always room for growth and potential to be better, right? And then if you focus on a negative, then you start losing your mind, and now you start creating this story about yourself that you're this person and you're that person, you're like this and you're like that. And it just will tear down your self-esteem and your confidence, and it'll just ruin the vibe of, and you'll lose your passion too. And so what he does is he blocks out both of them. Like he notices it, but then he just keeps doing his thing, and keeps going forward on what he wants to do. And so that's exactly that takeaway that we've had, and what I've instilled into my life now. And obviously I'm still human. There's still times where I see a comment, I'm like, wow, this sucks. Like, why would this person say that? But at the same time, there's nothing I can do about it. And I just keep moving forward. And over time, it gets easier for me to block it out and not care as much. That's really
good advice. And really, Gary's awesome. So it's really cool that you have that takeaway from him, and, you've been able to meet him and stuff. And that's really, really cool advice. Now, I wanted to ask you, I know this isn't on our list, but the Boots and Hearts song that you did, tell me about that. Is that you singing?
Yeah, me and Austin, my friend, my buddy Austin.
You can sing.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so. But I mean, there's certain ranges and pitches that I can't hit, but I think I can definitely hit certain ranges for sure. And the country, weirdly enough, is in my vocal range the most.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like country at all. And it's the furthest thing away from my culture and how I was raised. But yeah, I was like, I just still think it's cool that I can do that. And I was like, I'm going to make a music video now.
Yeah, no. I'm a singer as well, and I was like, oh my gosh, like he can actually really sing. Like I was impressed by you. So
means a lot.
Just wanted to say good job on that, because like, hey man, you never know, right? You could do more in the future, and
for sure.
Could just be another avenue. It's all relative, right? So
No, yeah, for sure. Anybody, like I said, you can make anything you want on the internet, right? And you don't need these gatekeepers really anymore. So what's stopping you from doing whatever you think is good? It's all subjective anyway. So, but like I said, there's always going to be an audience for it. So you just never know. I could be the biggest rising country artist in the next 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah. How did you figure out your posting schedule? Did you kind of do trial and error, or do you like kind of figure out peak times? Like what do you feel? Or do you just post when you feel like it?
When I first started, I was just posting whenever. But, I mean, I post every day. So, technically, I am just posting whenever I want. But I definitely have a schedule of when I post. So, pretty much, I post two pieces of content at least a day. Right now, it's been like that for about a year, I'd say. Or a very long time, consistently. And I'm just in that routine of not even thinking about it anymore. I just kind of know when I have to post, and I just go and do it around the same times on average every day. That's pretty much it. Like I don't even stress about it or think about it too much.
That's awesome. That's honestly really good to know. Like even for me, I'm just curious, and I love speaking to people at my job, because I get to speak to so many talented people who are just killing it. So I just wanted to ask, kind of just for my own curiosity. So
I mean,
it's really good advice.
Yeah, no, for sure. It can get definitely chaotic though if you don't really have a purpose on what you're doing. If you think you have to post because you have to post just to do whatever, then that's when you get lost, and now you're just like on your phone the whole time, and you build up that screen time, which happened to me early on in my career when I started to like blow up a little bit. I was very addicted to my phone, and my screen time was like 14 hours a day. It was insane.
Wow.
Because I was just like obsessed with being on there, and like I would post a video and then like be on there for 3-4 hours, like liking stuff, commenting on things, watching people's stories, watching the feed, just going back and forth on 3 different apps. Yeah, it just got too chaotic. So you have to have like a reason why you're doing what you're doing, and then
kind of like finding a niche.
Yeah, but also just having like being organized, pretty much, like understand, like knowing, like making it very like robotic almost, like okay, I have to post 60 videos this month, and then working backwards from that and scheduling that even at the beginning, but then you get to a point now where for me, like I don't need to do that because I know myself, and I know I'm just like so in the routine, like I could just, it's like a part of my daily routine at this point. So you just get more and more used to it the more you do it.
And you find that the more you do it, do you find that things come easier to you, ideas, or do you find that you can kind of like get stuck sometimes, like what is Bianca gonna do today, or what is Letters to Santa or the hockey, like what do you think in terms of that? Do you ever get stuck?
Yeah, here and there sometimes. I might have writer's block, but at the same time, for me, I'm lucky. I have a bunch of different characters that I can pull from, like very versatile in that way. Like I'm not one note, so if I do get stuck on a certain video or certain characters, I can be like, all right, what can I do with this character? Or what can I do with that one? And then I have it ready like ahead of time. I never I don't think I've missed like a day or more than a day or two of posting something in like a couple of years, because I'm always like a week ahead, pretty much. Then I'll just film a bunch at once and then just have them ready for the next few days. And I keep repeating that cycle.
Now, as a Bianca fan, can you do I don't know if you've done this, but fall is coming up. Pumpkin spice season is in full swing. As a fan, I would love to see some Bianca fall content.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some coming.
Okay, I will keep my eye out for that. I would love to see a little PSL in hand and stuff like that. That'd be great.
Oh yeah. Me and a couple of my other wig friends are gonna definitely do some content around that stuff.
I love it.
I mean, yeah. It's I'm going on tour starting September 18th, and first stop is Calgary, and it's all the way till October 22nd, which finishes up in Toronto. And all my tour dates are on my site neemanaz.com, and there's still a few cities that have tickets available. I'm going all across Canada, and it's my first ever national stand-up comedy tour, so very excited to do that.
I bet. I'm excited for you. That's incredible.
Yeah,
well, thank you so much for speaking with me. You're awesome, and I really can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Peace.